So, this is the story of 40 years of the legendary Hitman who single-handedly defeated an entire gang and has the power to destroy. But with him, there is some such confusion that he becomes a teenage child. And then, for one of his missions, he also has to go to a middle school. He has to go to study, and finally, the most shocking thing is that if he wants to be like before again, then he will have to marry a teenage girl. There is a girl who is his daughter's age, and the girl receives thousands of proposals daily, but she refuses everyone. So now, our hero is there to restore normalcy. He has to face a lot of problems and fight a lot of dangerous people too. He will have to do it. The story begins, and we see a fellow who is slowly walking near an old building. He comes, and the security personnel deployed here break the camera, and after this, when he comes inside the building, there are a lot of goons. Then here's another guy pointing a gun at him. He says, "Who is it, you old man?" But in the next moment, that guy shoots him with his own gun. And then, in the next moment, all the lights here also burst. It's quite dark here. And then this guy here starts hitting all those hooligans present there one by one. Look at this. A man and a briefcase run away from here to save their lives due to the case, it seems like. But then our hero comes and kills that guy, dropping him right there. But in the next moment, this guy is secretly, constantly attacking our hero. He fires. But friends, for our hero, it doesn't happen like that there. He goes after him, it takes a powerful punch that makes him hit a gate. After which, we see our main character, Juzo. He would have killed all the goons present here. And then his disciple, Kotetsu, starts trying to open the briefcase which the man was running away with. And friends, our main character, Juzo, is a professional. He is a hitman. Now after this, when that briefcase opens, a broken wasp nest appears. Apart from this, nothing happens in it. Now after this, in the next scene, we see Juzo and Kotetsu eating together. Kotetsu is eating with great pleasure, but for our Juzo, on his face there were no special expressions. Looking at it, it felt like he wasn't living his life. Rather, he is just passing it. Now after this, we see Juzo go into his apartment building. Then in the elevator, a child collides with him, and the child here, as soon as he sees Juzo, his eyes burst into four, go wide. It happens, and he runs away from here in fear. From which we learn that Juzo doesn't even know how to talk to children. Right there in Juzo's apartment, we see a picture of Juzo, his wife, and his daughter too. But she doesn't live with Juzo now. Juzo lives alone in a big house, and he works as a hitman because he is very good at it, not because he likes the work. Really, Juzo is just passing his life. But in the next moment, we see a wasp come out of Juzo's coat. It comes out and stings him on the neck. Juzo kills that wasp. But he had never seen a wasp like this before. And in the next moment, he is hit hard in the chest. He starts feeling pain and faints right there. And in the next scene, when Juzo regains consciousness, he finds himself in this lady's lab. Her name is Eri, and she is from the same company in which Juzo works. Also, this lady is Juzo's ex-wife. Now, after this lady gives Juzo a mirror, saying, "Our company's responsibility towards what happened to you. Scientists are researching why this happened and how it can be fixed. By the way, this is your condition in that the wasp has met venom, because when Juzo looks at himself, he's become a little teenager. And seeing this, he is stunned. Madam says, "We are trying to find out how this happened, but we don't know anything yet. I have not found out, and until your situation is fixed, I think you should take a break." But then his boss calls. "It seems from your voice that what I have heard is true. You became a child again, yes, and because now you have become a child, I have a great job for you. You will attend middle school." Listening to this, Juzo has a reaction. What? So further, his boss tells him, "I am sending my daughter to a private middle school, and I want you to stay in the same class and keep an eye on her." Juzo says, "Yes, sir, but I can't do this work. Studying is beyond my capacity." But as soon as his boss says, "I will pay quite well," Juzo is ready for this. Now after this, we see Juzo in his school uniform. Juzo's glasses have a camera installed through which Kotetsu will always be able to help him. Now later, we are shown the class in which Juzo has come, and here Juzo gives an introduction, doing his absolute nonsense that all the children think is nonsense. So now, at Kotetsu's asking, Juzo introduces himself again. "I don't have any special hobbies. There is nothing like that. But I am quite skilled at firing guns." Everyone heard him say this. The reaction of the children is very strange. They say it seems like he's an idiot who always just keeps playing games. And just like that, Juzo's first day becomes nothing special. It doesn't go well, and during the holidays, we see these girls take on Juzo and walk away. But instead of apologizing to him, she makes fun of him, saying that it is him who always keeps playing games. An idiot from somewhere. Now when he comes home after this, Kotetsu has cooked him some very good rice. He made an omelet. Now after this, Kotetsu tells Juzo that his first introduction was very stupid, and yes, you should not make any mistake, etc., otherwise those people will expel you from school. Now after this, the next day during class, Juzo was thinking how difficult it is to study. When I actually studied when I was a teenager, I quit and started doing my Hitman work. But look at the game of fate. My marriage has happened, divorce has also happened. I also have a daughter, and I am sitting for reading among children aged 18. But after this, suddenly Juzo starts having a lot of fun studying. Especially in mathematics class, calculating numbers is imprinted on his heart. And that's how Juzo does his job very well. He studies, and by the time the holidays come, he becomes so emotional that he starts crying. Studying is so much fun. All the subjects are so good. It seems like I have come into a different world. First, I spent all my time working on my Hitman job, so sometimes I did not get a chance to understand studies. And then Juzo studies even after coming home. And seeing this, Kotetsu thinks about what suddenly happened to the boss. But then the next day, we see a man wearing a mask keeping an eye on their school. Now today is another day. After enjoying his studies, Juzo was thinking how much fun the life of studies is. But on the way home, Juzo thinks that he wants his old body back. But then suddenly he hears some sound, and we see a man wearing a panda mask and shorts knock out a security guard and then run away. He comes up to these two girls because she was laughing at the man in underwear in his video from a while ago. Now both of them are very nervous. Now after this man starts playing with his underwear in front of those girls. Watching that, Kotetsu says that these girls were making fun of you, so letting them have it is fine. But Juzo says both of them must be the same age as his daughter. Like this, it is not right to leave them in trouble. After all, helping children is a duty for adults. And then Juzo throws a box toward the panda, sneaking multiple shots fired so that there is a lot of dust. And taking advantage of this very occasion, Juzo quickly runs towards the man and punches him hard. But this punch doesn't knock the man unconscious. Because his body became smaller, Juzo's strength has also diminished. The very next moment, the man takes out a bomb, burns it, and starts dancing. So first, Juzo removes the bomb from his hand and then attacks his private parts, after which the man there collapses and then the bomb explodes. Because of this, a huge explosion occurs here. Now seeing Juzo there, those girls believed that Juzo had helped them. Juzo immediately says, "Oh no, I am just passing by. I saw a man coming out of here, he ran away. Maybe he had worn those underwear. The man has been beaten." After which, Juzo goes from here and these girls remain stunned. And by the way, any child here wouldn't understand what happened here all of a sudden. And now, the news of this, Miss Eri, Juzo's ex-wife, was watching with her daughter. Now the next day in class, we see that almost all the children were planning to go somewhere. But here, in Juzo's case, no one asks him for it. But then the two girls who were saved by Juzo themselves come to Juzo and ask him to go for a walk, and thank him for yesterday too. And with this, Juzo gets added to the class group. But in the next scene, we see Juzo's phone getting message after message on the group chat. The poor guy is in shock. So many messages from the children, what is this? And finally, Juzo says, "Nowadays, a 40-year-old man like me among these advanced children can't do anything." Now, it's Juzo looking out from the balcony. He says that ever since his body was changed, he has stopped smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. Ever since I turned 65. I have stopped drinking because this body of mine can't handle it. But yes, now I am starting to feel very good. It is like he is now slowly learning to live his life. But then at night, Miss Eri calls Juzo and tells him that the wasp that stung him was not natural. It was artificially created and made by the company. That is Japan's second largest pharmaceutical company, and the daughter of the president of that company is in your class. If you make friends with her, you may collect a lot of confidential information, yes. And by the way, that girl's name is Noreen Misuoka. Now in the next scene, we see that Juzo was studying even while coming to school. Juzo's only interest now was in his studies. He doesn't even look at the beautiful girls around him. Now, putting on their shoes, these two girls come up to Juzo and say, "Hi, hello, good morning." Juzo also returns the favor and says good morning. It's better if he hadn't done it. After which, he starts going to the classroom. But when he comes to class, he turns his gaze and looks at Noreen for the first time. And why is that? We already know this. Now after this, during sports class, we see Noreen come in first place during the race. That means she is very athletic. By the way, the girls also praise Noreen's beauty. And what about the boys? Every single boy wants to make her his girlfriend. But instead of love, there is lust on their faces. Now, during this class episode, we learn that Noreen comes in top numbers in sports as well as studies. Meaning, guys, Madam's talent is on a different level. And Miss Eri had told Juzo that he needs to be friends with Noreen, as this would be very useful to obtain information. After all, Noreen is the only daughter of the president of Misuoka Pharmaceuticals. Now, think about Juzo during lunch. He was wondering how he would start talking to Noreen because there isn't just an age gap between them. Rather, there is a generation gap. She is 20 to 25 years younger than him. But friends, you must have heard the saying, no matter how old the monkey gets, it never stops doing somersaults. Now after this, Juzo goes and tries to talk to Noreen. He tries to say, "Hi, how are you?" But she says, "Get away from here, you idiot from somewhere." Juzo's heart is deeply hurt here, after which we see that Juzo was embarrassed outside the class, realizing that even after becoming an old man, he couldn't talk to a child. He felt like he should drown in a handful of water, after which the poor guy just sighs right there. Now in the next scene, these two girls tell Juzo that Noreen is the best at everything and stays away from boys. To date, she hasn't even talked to a boy, and why should she? She is the best at everything. Her parents are rich, and she is the daughter of a model. As beautiful as she is, a lot of boys have proposed to her, but every time they were chased away like dogs. By the way, Madam has no friends. Leave the boys, she doesn't even talk to girls or anyone else. Even girls don't approach her because they think she has a lot of attitude. Now thinking all this, when Juzo went home, he was hoping to abandon the idea of befriending Noreen. It is beyond his power, it doesn't matter. But then his gaze falls on a ramen shop. And then, when he whistles and comes into the shop playing music, the waitress there is Miss Noreen. Firstly, both of them get shocked after seeing each other, and then they just ignore each other as if they don't know each other. But Juzo couldn't understand what was happening. The president of Misuoka Pharmaceuticals Company's daughter is working in a ramen shop. No, this cannot happen. Is this a duplicate of her? And after that, when Juzo eats the ramen and tastes it, brother, it is absolutely amazing. He feels as if he has come to heaven. But then, Madam comes to him and says that the shop is closing. Can we talk about something after? Now in the next scene, Noreen asks Juzo, "What are you doing here?" He states his house is nearby. After which, Noreen says, "Please keep this a secret." Now after this, walking together, Juzo asks, "Why are you walking like this? I mean, you are quite rich. No car comes to pick you up." We learn that the shop where Noreen works is her uncle's shop, and she does not get any money for her work there. She is just helping her relative. I believe that I am quite rich, and my looks are influenced by my mother's Canadian origins. I have a foreigner-type look. Also, my parents have introduced me to many boys who may prove to be good future husbands for me. They don't even know me, but they treat me very well. And all this seems very ridiculous to Noreen. Also, the boys in her class like her a lot and harass her. You know, they keep proposing to her. Now look, brother, Noreen doesn't like the old mindset at all where girls get married and become housewives. She'd rather open her own ramen shop. Overall, she wants to be a strong, independent woman. #women power. Noreen likes her uncle's way of thinking very much. He doesn't hang around the rich to benefit himself, but rather does whatever his heart desires. And whenever Noreen was sad, she used to go to her uncle's to eat ramen nearby. Eating his ramen, her mood would improve immediately. I don't know why, but you remind me of my uncle. That's why I kept talking in front of you for so long. And friends, why wouldn't he remind her of him? After all, our hero is a 40-year-old man. But here, he says to Noreen, I believe you are quite young right now, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't live according to your own wishes. I think that you should live your life according to your own wishes, not according to others. By the way, that ramen was very tasty. Now, as soon as Juzo said this, Noreen also gets very excited and starts praising the ramen. Now, after this, a turning point comes where both of them had to follow their own paths. Noreen says, "Don't act like we're good friends in class tomorrow. We just talked a little bit together, nothing more than this." But as they move forward on their own paths, a car approaches Noreen from behind and kidnaps her. Juzo sees this, but he can't do anything here. That car is very fast. It kidnaps Noreen and leaves from here. But Kotetsu has taken a photo of that car and traced its number. However, the number plate was perhaps fake. But after that, we see Juzo running fast towards a tower. Leaping from here to there, he reaches straight to the top of the tower so he could see the car from there. And Juzo shoots in the direction of that car from such a long distance so that a transmitter hits the car directly. Then Juzo jumps into a truck going behind that car because Juzo wanted to save Noreen. After all, Noreen is the future would-be owner of that ramen shop whose ramen touched Juzo's heart. And so, Juzo reaches the location where those people have brought the kidnapped Noreen. Now, the man here says to Noreen, "Darling, keep your mouth shut, because if you make a noise, I will shut your mouth. We can do a lot with you. By the way, you are very beautiful. My heart wants it right now." But then another man kicks him, beats him, comes in front of the girl and says, "I'm sorry he was rude to you. I'll kill him later, and I will not do anything with you. I just want to know about that new drug from your father's company. And we have received information that you have the secret of that drug." But Noreen says she doesn't know anything about it. She has no idea what drug these people are talking about. Hearing this, the man says, "By the way, that old ramen shop where you work is your uncle's. I went there yesterday and the food I ate was no good. It was cow dung. I think that place shouldn't be there. But look, at heart I am very good. If you tell me about the secret drug, I will not do anything." But in the next moment, a bullet hits the man in the head, because Juzo has arrived here with great style. Maybe you always eat dung, so you don't realize how tasty that ramen is. And then Juzo covers Noreen's head so that she cannot see anything. The rest of the goons say, "Hey, who are you, child?" Juzo says, "I am not a child, I am older than you, but we can only do what fate has to offer." And in the next moment he shoots all three of them with his gun. He shoots it. By the way, here Juzo has used rubber bullets. That means someone's life has not been lost. All of them have fainted. But then more people start coming here. So Juzo sits Noreen down here on a crate, and moving forward with it, whoever comes in front of him, he sends them flying in the air. He would come from behind and kick them down. And after this, some other people were hit by bullets. After escaping, he shoots them too. And then, when he comes to the stairs, he throws that crate at the two people here and even shoots them. And similarly, he shoots the people carrying Noreen. Gradually progressing, in a short while, these people come out of that building. They come out. But then here, the man brings a car because he did not die due to the rubber bullet. Now, the car glasses here were bulletproof. So now, Juzo drops Noreen from that crate and throws that crate towards the car, which breaks its balance, and the car flies through the air. It falls behind Juzo, and Juzo then knocks Noreen unconscious. Now, all was fine, but Juzo had dropped one of his study books there. Now, in the next scene, Noreen regains consciousness in her room. As soon as it seems it was all a dream, the scars make her realize that she did not dream, and someone there had helped her. Now after this, coming to school, Noreen goes straight to Juzo and asks him what happened last night. "Are you the one who saved my life?" he says. "No, what are you saying? By the way, your secret ramen shop. I will keep it a secret, but in return, I will come there someday to eat ramen." Now, in the next scene, we see Juzo doing his math in class, where he was not able to understand some equations at all. Everything was going over his head. Now at night, he tells Kotetsu about this while having dinner, talking to him that in the subject of math he is facing some problem which he is trying to solve. "I am not able to do it." But Kotetsu says, "I don't even know how to add or subtract." That's why now Juzo seeks help from his ex-wife, Miss Eri. But she says that she is already busy with her work. "I am very busy. That is why she can't help him. I think that you should ask your teacher for help." But Juzo says that all the teachers are younger than him. So asking them for help, he is feeling a little shy. Now after this, Juzo is quite active while attending class that day. He was getting worried, because if this continued, he would be left behind the other children in his studies. But while thinking about all this in the library, he meets this boy. His name is Ryo Shiraishi. Now, after knowing Juzo's problem, Ryo says, "I can help you if you want." After which, Ryo comes to help Juzo. It seems like Juzo also gives his 100% here. In the next test, Juzo gets 100 marks. So he is very happy here. And then with tears of joy in his eyes, he thanks Ryo. After which, Juzo goes to give Ryo a treat and brings him to a restaurant. But here, a man collides with Ryo. Now, it was that man's fault, but still, Ryo apologizes to him. But even after Ryo asks for an apology, the man kept whispering and saying good and bad things about them. Now, after sitting at one place, Juzo says, "You are very intelligent in your studies. In the future, do you intend to become something?" Ryo says, "Don't tell anyone. I want to become a doctor." We get to know that Ryo's mother was always very ill, and one day she died due to illness. After which, Ryo and his sister were mostly taken care of by his grandmother. But now, for some time, her health has also not been good. That's why Ryo wants to be a doctor so he can help sick people. And these words of Brother Ryo touch Juzo's heart. Juzo says in his mind, "This child is so much younger than me, but he handles responsibilities better than me. He knows how to deal with it." But then the same man comes to them and tells them he has heard it all. "Hey, do you want to become a doctor? But it looks like you're wasting your money taking care of your parents. You should leave this dream because you will never be a doctor. It's not going to happen." But then Ryo stood up. He says, "Thank you for your advice, but I don't think your advice is wise, because a man who thinks others are fools can never be wise himself." Now the rest of the people here also start telling that man to mind his own business. "Uncle, what attitude are you showing against the children?" "Yes." Uncle feels very embarrassed. Uncle bursts out of there immediately. Now going home after this, Juzo says, "Brother, you are a big man. You are a courageous man." But then here we see the same uncle coming on his bicycle, and he is very angry. His plan is to hit them with his bicycle, kill them, and throw them both into the water. But Juzo already knows that this uncle is coming towards them. After which, Juzo throws a study device, I don't know its name, at the uncle's bicycle. It hits it, which disturbs his balance, and the uncle goes flying straight through the air in slow motion. He falls into the water, and they both leave from there. But then we are shown a scene that Juzo never got a chance to spend time with his daughter because of his work. He failed to fulfill his duties as a father. And perhaps Juzo wakes up from his sleep dreaming this. His room was a complete mess. So now, for this reason, Kotetsu has to clean his house. We learn that Juzo doesn't know how to clean. He had never cleaned before. Hey friend, doing housework is not a boy's job. That is the work of girls. Kotetsu says, boss, don't keep these outdated ideas. Now after this, when he comes to school, there was a lot of crowd all around. There are different clubs here. Children are approaching other children to join their groups. Now, seeing all this, Juzo was moving forward. Just then, a ball falls near him. Some kids are playing baseball and accidentally the ball came here. So now Juzo throws the ball back to them, and a guy's glove breaks while catching it. Now after this, Juzo talks to Ryo and learns that Ryo is thinking about joining the canoe club. But Juzo is not going to join any sports club because his abilities are very high, which can make him the center of attention. Then Juzo sees a club banner where it is written that cleaning, housekeeping, and all that work is to be done. Seeing this, Juzo says, hey, all this is work for girls. But as soon as he said this, a girl came near him. She comes closer and says, sir, what you said to me doesn't seem right. After this, it is revealed that she is Ryo's elder sister. Her name is Chisato. And she says to Juzo here, I believe that boys and girls are quite different from each other. But it is wrong that only girls should do household chores. After all, cooking and cleaning, all these things are survival tasks. And everyone should know how to do this. From your words, it seems you don't know how to do housework. So that's why you will come to our club today. I will teach you how to do housework there. And if you don't come, remember that you will never talk to my brother again. Now that our hero has been blackmailed, he has to go to that club. Now here, Chisato says, if you do not enjoy doing all this work, then I will not give you any more work to do, and for the next 6 months, I will also do all the work in your house. But if you enjoy it, you will join our club. Now after this, Juzo cooks for the first time in his life, and the food he cooks seems quite good to him. After which, Juzo says to Chisato, look, it wasn't boring, it was just okay. So let's assume neither you won nor me. But Chisato doesn't want this game over now. Now after this, going home, Juzo talks to Kotetsu and says, I enjoyed cooking, but not that much that I should join the club. Now after this, when Juzo is doing his homework, a call comes from Miss Eri. We find out that whatever food Juzo had cooked and was left over, he had delivered it to Miss Eri. She and his daughter ate the food, and they liked it. And when Juzo hears his daughter praise his food, he remembers what Chisato had said. Cooking food for yourself is a different matter. But when we cook food for someone else, and then when people praise our food, it makes us very happy. And then Juzo says, I guess I lost this time. And then, going to school the next day, Juzo joins the cooking club. But after that, as he comes out of the class, he sees that some guy is proposing to Noreen, and Noreen rejects him right there. And then Juzo finds out that Noreen has also come to join the cooking club because she wants to learn to make more things. But here Noreen tells Juzo, I said no, and she goes to join the club. But on the other hand, a message comes to Kotetsu from Miss Eri, and now he tells Juzo something very shocking. Boss, if you want to get back to your original form, then you will have to marry Noreen Misuoka. Juzo says, have you gone crazy? What nonsense are you talking about? Kotetsu tells him, just a few minutes ago, Misuoka Pharmaceuticals made a large announcement that whoever marries Noreen will become the next owner of the company. And boss, let me tell you about that kidnapper. Maybe you will remember. He said, look girl, we don't know what that thing is, but you have the secret thing. That means now, if Juzo wants to return to his original form, first he should get the drug for that habit. And for that, he needs to find Noreen, because by marrying her, he automatically becomes the owner of that company. Juzo says, have you gone mad? I am a 40-year-old man who is divorced, and you want me to marry a middle school teenage girl. Don't talk nonsense. Now after this, Juzo comes to the ramen shop. He eats the ramen very well, thinking, no, he has gone crazy. I will not marry a middle school girl. After which, while taking the change, there is some talk between them. I am watching the number of people who propose to you increasing. Now, while leaving for home together after this, Noreen remembers her father's announcement. She shows a lot of anger regarding this. But Juzo is just focusing on his studies. Noreen says, I am speaking my heart out. I want to say something, and you are not even listening. But maybe now, after joining that club, my dream of having a good friend will come true. But I am not going to make you that friend. Did you understand? But the next day, we see that because Noreen has joined the cooking club, many boys have applied to join the club. Now, Noreen starts getting quite worried here because of these greedy boys. But then her eyes go to Juzo, after which she goes straight to Juzo, holds him and says, I want to tell you all one thing clearly here. This boy that you see here, he is my boyfriend. And listening to this, everyone's minds are blown. Now, after this announcement, all the boys start following them. But somehow, these two manage to escape from them and hide. After which, Noreen says, sorry, but at that time, no other idea came to my mind to get out of the situation. But please, can you pretend to be my boyfriend? Please, because if I already have a boyfriend, then other boys will not approach me. Now here, Juzo agrees. But in the very next scene, a lot of boys surround him and threaten him. "You bastard, you should stay away from her. She is ours only." But in the very next moment, we see that Juzo escapes all of this, runs straight down from the third floor, and jumps.